This video is brought to you by the FarmerKlein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at the little campaign. But before that, this video is brought to you by Darren Cassell and UTB. Thank you for being farm barons. So the little campaign map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC players only. Let me read you some of the description. I offer you this little card with great creative freedom. I tried to create a small map where the village dominates the map. On this map, I offer you 39 fields, 1 sheep pasture, 1 cow pasture, 4 placeable areas, 13 purchasable areas, 3 points of sale. I invite you to freely create your farms with the areas provided for that purpose. I hope you enjoy this map. Now we are going to be using the mods we typically use when we look at maps, which is additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, precision farming, and straw harvest. In addition, I will tell you, if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find that the farms are built out exactly how you're going to see them here in new farmer mode. In addition, you do start out with your starting machinery in all game modes. Of course, the only exception is you do not own any of the land. In addition, I will tell you, if you load this map up with a low-powered system, for example, the one I used was one with integrated graphics, I had no issues whatsoever keeping a solid 60 frames per second on this map. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the PDA itself, you may get the feeling that this is, well, a small map. Maybe it's a little bit of a micro map, but that would be probably leaving the wrong impression, because if we take a look at our lands, you'll see that we have the main, what you would think is the main map here, with the fields and the farmlands and all of that. But we have a lot of outside area that we can purchase as well. So this map is kind of dual purpose. We have small fields, a very small area here that is developed, so you can do small machinery. But if you want to venture out into the wilderness and have kind of your own way, well, you do have that availability as well. We do have all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 22 on this map. Let's go and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include any fields, what fields they are, and then lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us. As we can see, for the most part, the farmland on this map is very, very cheap. Taking a look at our field calculator screen, this is going to show us the specific sizes of each particular field, and of course, we're not seeing the sizes of those wilderness farmland areas because, well, they are not actually defined fields. Let's go and take a look and see how the soil map is being applied to this field. Now, this is using the generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. I have an interesting breakdown. To the north, we have silty clay and loam. To the south of the starting farm, in east and west, we've got loamy sand and sandy loam. And then to the west, we've got a mix of sandy loam and loam. We do have the standard crop counter that's available to us in Farm Sim 22 on this map. And if we take a look down through our prices screen, you will see we do have the ability to sell most, but sadly not all of the crops that we can grow. We do have cotton available to us in the crop counter, our crop schedule, as well as a crop in the map itself, yet we do not have the ability to sell cotton. As we continue down through, we have the ability to sell our eggs, below milk, and swell silage, hay, straw, and grass. But when we get down through our base game production items, we once again are excluding the ability of selling one thing and one thing only. That is cereal. We do have the ability to sell all of the other base game crops available to us in Farm Sim 22 and Productions, but not cotton or cereal. With respect to lime, we do have the ability to buy bulk lime, and we do have a stone crusher for getting rid of our stones. With respect to the platinum expansion, we do not have the ability to sell any of the platinum expansion production items. So if you do want to put one of those down, you will also need to put a sell point down for those. The premium expansion crops and productions are available for sale. And if you are playing with pumps and hoses, we do have the ability of getting rid of separated manure. And if you are playing with straw harvest, we do have the ability to get rid of our hay and straw pellets. We start out with a shockingly large list of starting machinery, given the sizes of these fields. We do not have any animals at the start. This map does have contracts available. We do not own any production chains at the start, nor does this map have any collectibles. Speaking of starting equipment, let's go ahead and take a look at that large fleet. We start out with the Zetor 4 Terra HSX 120 small tractor, as well as the Steyr 8150. We have the Nova 330 harvester that is paired up with the PowerStream 500 header and the Nardi N40B header trailer. We've got our John Deere Gator side by side, as well as the Welger DK115 trailer. We have a Corn Champion 5-row corn header for our harvester, as well as the Pottinger servo plow, the Rabe EG39 cultivator, the Amazon KG 3001 Super Power Harrow, which is paired up with the Sitya 3000 Super Seeder. We have the GMD 4411 side mower, as well as the Pottinger Top 342 tedder or windrower, and the Massey Ferguson 1840 small baler. We have the Quickie Q4M for our small tractors, as well as the Albert round bale fork, which is odd that we would have a round bale fork and a small square baler. But hey, okay, we're going to roll with it. We've got the Transport Wagon TP500S low loader, and then we wrap it up with 1100 kilogram and 650 kilogram front weight. Take a look at our mods and DLCs. This map does not have any custom vehicles or implements. Now, with respect to the starting farm, we do have a gate here, and we do have cuttable hedges. If you do have a chainsaw, you can come in here and cut these posts down that are a part of these hedges and get rid of these hedges. They are not sellable other than being cut down. We do have the Holt Betheroon farmhouse, so we have our wardrobe trigger here on the side, and then our sleep trigger at the front door. And then around back, we have the rest of the starting farm, which is basically an easy shed. And that is pretty much your farm tour. We've got all of our starting machinery either in the farmhouse or in this easy shed. And then we also have another gate going on right here. Now, if we jump back to our PDA, we do have two pastures as the description mentioned. We have in Farmland ID 40. This is going to be the sheep pasture. Farmland ID 40 can be bought for $4,962. We also have a cow pasture down here at Farmland ID 41. That can be bought for $4,386. We also have three buildable zones at Farmland ID 44, $15,500. Farmland ID 45, $20,700, and Farmland ID 42 at just under $12,000. With that, let's get a little bit of altitude and take a little look around. Again, the bulk of our activity is going to be up here in the little town area, but we do have the entirety of the southern part of this map that is buildable and is designed kind of as a wilderness. Now, the way the map is set up, there really isn't a clear road leading out into the wilderness, which really makes you wonder, is it intended? And I gotta believe it is indeed intended to be kind of a wilderness hybrid map, because that is all buyable land. But it is just a little odd that we don't really apparently have any kind of roads leading out into the wilderness area. You're just going to have to kind of make up your own. So just behind the starting farm, we do have that cow pasture. So we have our food trough. We have our cow drop-off point. This is going to support 50 cows. And then we have the water trough. Just to the east of the cow pasture, we do have one of our main sell points. We also have a buy point for lime and our stone crusher. We have one of those buildable sites located right here. Land does kind of fall off the edge, so if you do want to build here, you may want to raise it up and level it out a bit. Then in front of one of our new grain sell points, we do have our vehicle shop. We're going to need to go inside here to get to our shop trigger. Let's go ahead and pick up our Mahindra and just see where things spawn. They spawn here at the front door. We got a little area here for our machinery to spawn at. And other than the fact that we've got such a large wilderness area, I would say that really isn't that big of a deal. But with respect to the large wilderness area, I do think you're probably going to want to pick up some medium to larger machines, and getting them maybe out of the shop might be a little difficult given the narrowness of these roads. Now we have a service bay here, and inside the service bay we do have our dealer trigger. But one thing that we do not have identified is where that trigger is located. And I will tell you, it's basically located right there. So I do wish we did see some trigger markers clearly identifying that. To the north and east of the dealership, we have a bale trigger located right here. Fairly tight to get in here because we have our gate. And then have to navigate some of this debris and make a corner. So it is kind of a really, really tight sell point. Got another entrance right there as well. Our supermarket, which is one of our 3 main sell points, is located right here. And again, it is kind of tight to get in because we've got one entrance, and then we're going to have to go, I guess, to the left, make our way around the building, and then to the dump point. Right across the street from that, we have also another sell point located right there. And then we have the smallest of gas stations I've seen in a long time. We have 2 pumps right here, and it's going to be where we're going to be able to refuel our vehicles. Our sheep pasture is located right here. 150 sheep available in this pasture. And then we have our water trough, and then our food trough. And I really do not see the indicators clearly marking where our wool is going to spawn. So that's another kind of little tick with respect to trigger and areas being clearly marked. Through the woods here, we're going to make our way to the sawmill. We have our wood chip point. We have our interactive icon. We have our wood cell trigger. And then we have our pallet spawn point. Just pop up out of the woods over here. And, well, that is pretty much the farm, other than the animal dealer, which is going to be located kind of right across the street from our starting farm point. Right here. And other than the giant wilderness aspect, that is the little campaign. Now, there's that caveat that we do have the wilderness aspect. So let's talk a little bit about that. And as we talk about that, we'll talk about our scoring metric for the main map area. We are going to begin the map at full point because we do have production built in the sawmill. And we also have those 3 buildable sites. We talked about one right there down by the shop. We've got another one located right there. And then another one located kind of right across the street from the church. So we do have areas set aside for either building out farms or productions. With respect to the ability to sell all of our basic crops, production items, and animal outputs, we're going to be giving the map 3/4 of a point because we do not have the ability to sell cotton, nor do we have the ability to sell cereal. Now here we have the wilderness. It is not flat. It is rather rolling, hilly terrain. There's no trees out around here, so it'd be fairly easy to carve up and make fields. We got a whole section here that seems to have just been missed with respect to planting grass, but okay. But when you look at the map boundaries, well, the map boundaries extend all the way out here. So it's not like I'm in, out of bounds area. This is clearly intended to be, in my opinion, a wilderness area that you can expand into. With respect to the farms being customizable, yes, indeed, the farm is totally customizable. We can sell the buildings. We can cut down the hedges. The only thing we can't get rid of is the 2 entry gates. With respect to buildings where probably are using the new texturing technique, all the buildings in town are indeed using the new texturing technique. So we'll be giving the map a full point there as well. And trigger and interactive areas being clearly marked. We're going to have to take a 1/4 point off there because of, again, we do not have trigger markers indicating the dealer trigger. And we also do not have trigger markers down at the sheep area. I would like to see markers at both of those. So that's going to give this map a score of 4.5 out of 5. I'd love to know what you all think of the little campaign. I think it's a very interesting map where we have very small, kind of intimate town here where we have obviously set up for very small machinery. But the fact that the map boundaries are not restricted to this town area overall basically means that we have a substantially large area that we could go and get into building our own fields, our own farmland, and maybe our own towns out here in the wilderness. So again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this map. And until next time, happy farming.